Homegoing celebration for the late Daddy Roach Sr. Mama Roach, shocked and grieving, tried to flee for cover. Her 3 kids trailed her, but this lethal Fred Quisha hoe obviously wasn't gonna let them get away. What is up? Today, we are going to be reading a Quan Millz book because I have actually been thinking about doing this for a hot minute now, and I recently saw the Degenerosity video on it, and I was thinking as I watched that video, it solidified my decision that Quan Millz has a place on the Zarina channel. He fits right in. The books, if you don't know, are literary masterpieces. I've never actually gotten around to sitting down and reading one of these books, and I figured what better way to do it than to do it with you! So, I got my Kindle, I got a sample, I'm very excited, and before we get into it, I would like to say please like, comment, subscribe. If you like the video, it really helps me. I want to get to like 800 subs by the end of March maybe, and I love comments the most. Please leave a comment even if you hate me, like no matter what, if you like me, if you dislike me, and honestly, even if you hate me, comment. I would love to see it. So let's go. I got my Kindle right here. I downloaded a sample. But before we start reading a Quan Millz book, I want to talk about Quan Millz himself. Just feel free to skip around if you're not interested. I put timestamps in the description. Don't complain, my friend. So, Quan Millz, because I honestly think this guy, unironically, is very smart. I think he's hit a gold mine. And I just found a little article, some information about him, so I'm going to relay that info to you, because here's the thing, Quan Millz does not actually write these books. I know, I feel lied to as well. I know, it's bullshit, but actually, this man hires a ghostwriter. He commissions these, and he specifically makes these titles very controversial, very provocative, you know, gets the people going. And it works. Honestly, he's a fucking genius. Like, genuinely, it's an amazing idea. And I am tempted to do it myself. I'm a cheap bastard, okay? I want to make every penny and keep it for myself. I don't want anyone else getting a piece of the pie. I think it would be a fun video idea to be like, I made a self-published book and it went viral. And then like you make a decent amount of money off of it. It's not a bad idea, bro. Hit a gold mine. Titles like Pregnant by My Mother's Gay Husband and My Pastor Got a Stripper Pregnant. The self-published Millz has carved a very specific niche in the urban fiction space. So he had just been let go from a job at a Chicago law firm and was feeling burned out from the corporate scene. So this man was honestly working to become a lawyer. This man is a very smart man. We got Saul Goodman over here publishing novels. This is amazing. So basically, he said, I don't want to work in corporate America, and he decided to do his own thing. I respect it deeply. But as he amassed a following, churning out book after book, sometimes spending as little as a weekend penning a piece. This is what I want to talk about too. This dude is churning out these books in a weekend, and then he's just making like comfortable money off of it. Tell me this isn't the dream. Tell me this isn't the smartest thing to do. I will always respect anyone who can make an income without doing that whole 9-to-5 bullshit. If you can do this and make your money, you have nothing but respect from me, and I have a healthy envy for it. However, there have been conspiracy theories regarding Quan Millz's race, because a lot of these seem so over the top that it does feel like it's being a little on the nose with racist stereotypes. But he's not a white dude. There's speculation that he's a white dude. He's not a white dude. So this guy is black. I don't know, I just felt like mentioning that. So now that that's out of the way, I just wanted to talk about it. We're gonna actually read one of these freaky aw books. And the one I really want to read is like My Baby Mama Has a Roach or something. I don't know. Let me pull out my Kindle. I got the Kindle open. Let's look in my library. Bro, where is the sample? The sample is not here. Like, dead ass. I downloaded the sample. It opened on my Kindle app on my phone. Why is it not here? Okay, I'm gonna look up Quan Millz. Maybe we're just gonna straight up buy the book. Like, how expensive? It's not available. Okay. Fuck the Kindle then. We're gonna try it on my iPad. I have to log into my Amazon account. I don't remember my Amazon account, bruh. It's always logged in. Okay, give me a second. Okay, wait, I'm getting a code. Give me a second. 700908. Okay. Good content. Okay, it is in here. We got it. This hoe got roaches in her crib. That's what we're gonna read because I was looking at the other titles and for some reason this is the one that really stood out to me. This is the one I want to read. We're just gonna read a chapter of this, maybe a little more. And yeah, enough yapping. Let's get into it. This hoe got roaches in her crib. Wow, this is like low-key kind of beautiful, this intro. God. Oh my god, there's like 53 chapters. Like, look, these are all chapters, 53, and then the epilogue. Okay, a note to readers. This is a work of satirical fiction. The stereotypes employed in the book are deliberate in that I attempt to cast a light on the state of contemporary urban pulp fiction. Enjoy. Okay, I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna feel comfortable reading about the stereotypes. You know, I don't want to get canceled, none of that. But I respect a good piece of satire. I respect the message. You do you, my friend. The way it fucking starts. I'm like, I want to do an accent, but I don't want it to come off as something that it's not, okay? But I'm thinking like a southern, like someone from Atlanta is what I'm thinking of. I don't know. Don't cancel me, okay? I just want to immerse myself and make it as immersible. I just want to make the immersion good. I don't know. Anyways, that is enough yapping. Let's go. Chapter 1. How am I gonna read this? All these fucking roaches and shit! Ah! God motherfucking damn it! Like, what? An intro. Literary masterpiece. Fred Quisha's murderous gaze was laser-focused onto 5 black brownish roaches, all ranging in sizes. Ugh, and a bitch ain't got time for this shit today. I'm hungry and a bitch need to get her 8. The agitated Section 8 strag? Section 8 strag. Continue to nag. Okay, it's not that funny, but it is funny. The biggest roach, Daddy Roach Sr., embarked on a dangerous journey to lead his family to a mecca of stale food. His wings lightly flapped. He used his long, wise antennas to lead his loyal wife of 32 days, their 2 well-trained teenage sons, and their precious baby daughter towards the distant smell of decaying Domino's pepperoni and sausage pizza crust, hiding away in a dark corner of Fred Quisha's messy apartment living room. Damn, bitch, you live like this? Every 3rd Friday of the month, when the food stamps hit her EBT card, Fred Quisha usually treated her 3 kids to greasy pizza, saucy buffalo wings, and Cinesticks. The pizza fiesta was sort of like a food stamp renewal day of celebration. Truth be told though, the pizza was also a way to get the motherfucking kids temporarily off her flabby, tatted back. Oh my god, this narration is so mean to Fred Quisha. Fred Quisha hated to have to spend her weekends watching her badass kids, especially when she needed to get out and beat down by some local Chirac savage. Only God knows why she was so annoyed watching them. Ain't like the bitch had a job where her weekends were invaluable, deserving precious relief from a hard week of work. Every day was a fucking weekend for this hoe. Oh my god. This particular crust Daddy Roach Sr. scented had been nestled away for weeks. Shit, possibly months, out of the purview of other vermin living in the grimy apartment, had Fredquicia's mama taught her the importance of admiring cleanliness as a virtue, the months-old crust would have been a non-issue. Perhaps then Fredquicia would have not been staring down the Critter family peacefully pilgrimaging along the hallway's dusty white cracking baseboard. I swear to God, these motherfucking kids keeping my house nasty as shit. They getting on my last damn nerves and I got shit to do today. They really gonna make me go off on they motherfucking asses. Fredquicia griped under her dry, morning blunt-infused breath. Fredquicia, better known as Moo Moo in the streets, positioned herself in close proximity to the migrant roach family. A bitch was ready to go to war against the critter enemies invading her living room. Her eyes turned to homicidal slits. A butterfly of anxiety flapped its wing in her growling empty stomach. Ooh, we love the metaphors, Mr. Mills. We love the metaphors. Literary genius. Fredquicia knew roaches were hard to motherfucking kill. If she was going to be victorious in offing this sneaky fuck fella roach and his family, she needed to smite hard, so she could crush their organs, killing them on instant impact. So when we see N-words that I cannot say, I will be using the word fella. Okay? Fredquicia raised her right foot, leaned down, and then pulled off her Walmart black flip-flop. Now armed and dangerous, with the $2.99 plastic flip-flop in her hand, she slowly and carefully hovered her weapon of choice over Daddy Roach Sr. His long antennas wavered side to side, unaware of Fredquicia's looming death plot. Raised in Chicago's notorious Cabrini Green housing project high-rises till the age of 20, Fredquicia had no trace of fear for roaches in her body. No fear of white mice, no fear of daddy long-legged spiders, not even a trace of fear for Norwegian brown rats, once a major problem in Chicago's slums. Ducking and dodging at the sound of rapid gunfire was the most valuable tool any young fella growing up in Chicago's fucked up and ultra-violent housing projects had to learn quickly. And then the next valuable housing project survival skill young fellas had to acquire was the art of killing roaches. Fear of stray bullets aside, any child regardless of socioeconomic status starts off with an innate fear of insects, bugs, and other creepy monstrous creatures. Nonetheless, young project fellas are taught to cultivate Japanese samurai warrior-like fearlessness when it comes to living with roaches. Why? There's a 99.9999% chance these kids are going to be roommates with bugs until the day they leave their piss-smelling public housing residencies. Therefore, from a tender age, young Cabrini kids got initiated into a gang of hardened roach murderers, learning how to gang on those motherfuckers when they encroach their set, living room, bedroom, kitchen, etc. So, with all that being said, you already know a ghetto bitch like Fredquicia was a certified roach hitter. Concentrate, bitch, you got it. Fredquicia thought to herself, kill these fellas. Kill these fuck goofy RMFs. Smack! Daddy Roach Sr. went on to be with the Lord. The front of his obituary read, Homegoing celebration for the late Daddy Roach Sr. Sunrise May 2018 to sunset June 2018. Reverend Dr. Lucius Roachson III presiding. Mama Roach, shocked and grieving, tried to flee for cover. Her 3 kids trailed her, but this lethal Fredquicia hoe obviously wasn't gonna let them get away. He had to die too and be buried next to their daddy.
9/11.
Where the fuck y'all think y'all going, huh? Fredquicia shrieked with retribution colored in her vicious words. Gruesome genocidal sight. An entire family wiped out. But this was just the beginning of a growing problem. Daddy Roach Sr. had 1,861 brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, and other relatives lurking in the cut, ready to get to that pizza crust and other discarded trash scattered throughout the cluttered and disgusting apartment. I'm not gonna lie, if I was living with bugs, but I knew the bugs had a family and they were really just trying to feed their families, if I could communicate with them, I would honestly compromise with them. And I'd probably be like, okay, you can have your corner, just don't bother me when I'm out and about in the daytime. Don't come out when there's any guests, and I will give you food and shelter in return. I don't know, I'm benevolent like that. I'll let the roaches live with me. Scene break. This is the exact reason why on this beautiful and sunny Saturday morning, Miss Fredquisha Pierce, a tenant who had been in the building now for some 3 years, was manifestly heated, and not by the sun, but by the sight of the Roach family she just massacred with no remorse. This was a problem from time to time she tried to get Mr. Garrison to fix. She'd contact him every so often through email or phone call. Some days later, toothless crackhead Glenn would arrive, chit-chat, spray the house, lay out some traps, and then take off, not to be seen or heard from for months. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, the former Cabrini Green resident just grew immune to the infestation. Roaches were just roaches. A minor nuisance, really. Not a problem she felt compelled to bitch and complain to the city of Chicago's housing authority in a letter or phone call. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead because it's just describing, like, the whole, like, economic situation that they're in. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the good shit. Rather than clean up the crushed roach corpses slimed onto the bottom of the wall and baseboard, uneasy and rushed single mother of 3 furiously made her way back into the kitchen in search of her half-smoked, peach-flavored Philly blunt. Fredquisha picked the blunt up off one of her dirty kitchen countertops and wedged it in between her crusty, plump purple lips. She whisked out a lighter from her left pocket and lit the blunt up. She took 3 long puffs, exhaled, waited a few moments to let the calm her jittery nerves. The high overtook her portly body. Fredquisha then opened up the palm of her left hand and then hawked up the biggest ball of gooey, frothy spit into her palm. She put the lit end of the blood out into the viscous pool of saliva and then stuffed it in her pocket for later. Nasty bitch. Her breath a bit tart, Fredquisha now needed the refreshing taste of menthol in her mouth. Why she didn't just go brush her teeth instead? Well, she was gonna handle that later when she went to go take a shower. This entire first chapter is literally just describing Fredquisha in, like, excruciating detail of, like, how disgusting and shitty she is. She blew out a steady stream of smoke from her nostrils like a medieval dragon. I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead. With a trail of lingering Newport smoke following her, Fredquisha marched through the dusty, smoky, and dimly lit hallway of her apartment. Her heavy feet thumped on the filthy beige carpet as another roach ran for its life out of Fredquisha's sight. Lucky motherfucker. He better thank the roach lord. Disregarding the chit-chat and laugh she heard coming from her 2 sons' bedroom, Fredquisha stormed her way through her youngest child's bedroom. Without even bothering to knock, she barged right into her daughter's bedroom. Her daughter was sitting on the floor Indian style, using a couple of off-brand Broke crayons to doodle in some cheap dollar store coloring book. The young girl quickly looked up at her obviously angered guardian. The young daughter knew her mother was livid as her body language projected. "Little girl, I'm finna whoop your ass." Fredquisha, with her eyes now widened in rage, gawked her young daughter straight into her unassuming, juvenile brown doe eyes. Maya, what the fuck is you doing?" The young girl, Maya, was frozen and silent for a moment before she carefully answered, "Coloring? 'Cause I'm done cleaning." Fredquisha looked around with her scrunched her yellow face up. A typo? Her vicious eyes widened with more irritation as she saw a pair of pink socks on the floor. "You ain't done yet! Your room still look a mess!" Fredquisha roared and then continued to shout, "Listen, you better hurry up and clean my shit up, lil' hoe! In 2 seconds, I'm finna smack the fuck out there." I can't even do it, bro. "I'm finna smack the fuck out your ugly ass." Fredquisha then screamed out a list of things she thought Maya still needed to tidy up before she was scheduled to go over her grandmother's house for the rest of the weekend. I'm gonna skip a little. Fredquisha stood by Maya's bedroom door, now holding her arms by her crusty blackened elbows. She rapidly tapped her foot against the beige carpeted floor, obviously in much need of a vacuum. Hell, truth be told, it needed to be professionally cleaned. Regardless of the trillions of THC molecules running a marathon within Fredquisha's blood vessels, Fredquisha's anger was getting gradually explosive, especially with Maya. Fredquisha had places to go, people to see, and ultimately, some to suck later tonight if her plans went smoothly. Fredkeisha, 34, once a vixen back in her day, was now a tired-ass looking hoe who stood at about 5'5" and weighed a solid 213 pounds. She thought she was around 175, but she hadn't been to her general family physician, Dr. Patrice, in a while. Her doctor was down the block at the Free Women's Health Clinic, but Fredkeisha only made a visit when she had a bad yeast infection, STI, or when she'd get a long-lasting, turbulent case of bacterial vaginosis. Known once for her small waist, Fredkeisha was now in possession of a plump, undefined midriff. Remnants of what was once a thick ass now resembled two steroid-injected brown potatoes lumped together. A set of double D drooping hung from her chest. With no bra on, it was visible from the shirt covering her chest that she had both nipples pierced. The biggest black satin bonnet cap crowned Fredkeisha's head this morning, matching the slightly torn black wife beater wrapped around her chest and torso. A big Celtic cross tattoo was etched into her unshaven right arm. A spread of angel wings was tatted across her upper chest. Some faded blue denim Bermuda shorts she brought some years ago from the Rainbow store, not too far away, tightly snugged her cellulite-ridden legs. My god, it's just going very into detail about like how disgusting she is, bro. Okay, so the next few pages is just pretty much describing her really shitty like relationship with her husband, with her baby daddy. Oh my god, she's like actually abusive. I am seeing like the actual political social commentary in this as I'm reading. However, we're gonna skip ahead and we're just gonna get to the actual scene with the roaches, okay? Maya screamed as her eyes spotted the biggest brown roach crawling one of the walls in her bedroom. Maya instantly dashed towards the corner and had an expression of trepidation buried into the small features of her brown face. "What you scream for, ho?" Fredkeisha rasped with a screwed up face. "It's a roach, mommy!" As Fredkeisha pulled the half-smoked blunt out of her pocket and lit it up in front of the child, she huffed, "Bitch, a roach?" rolling her eyes and shaking her head. But Fredkeisha, hearing her daughter call her mommy, suddenly got her very inflamed. "And what I told you about calling me mommy? Call me Fredkeisha! Got it?" Maya jumped again. "Yes, ma'am." Damn, this poor girl. The panicked girl froze for a moment, still looking at her mother with full fear, but not fear rooted in respect. Fear rooted in a pending ass beating. "There's a roach on the wall, Fredkeisha." Maya slowly answered, pointing at the roach, the sound of dread defining her response. Fredkeisha rolled her eyes again as she blew out a steady, heavy stream of smoke from her wild nostrils and huffed. "Really, little bitch? That's just a damn roach. Fuck you scared for, pussy hoe. Go get your shoe and go kill it, now." "But I'm scared, Fredke. Don't make me ask you again or else." Fredkeisha interrupted. Instantly cutting off Maya's plea, Fredkeisha ambled deeper into the room and towered over her visibly shaken daughter. "Now I said go get your shoe and go kill it now!" Silent and quivering, a tear ran out of Maya's right eye as she looked up at her so-called mother. "I'm scared." I can't even slap that hard. Without hesitation, Fredkeisha's right hand went across Maya's face. "I said kill it! In fact, go kill it with your hand! Fuck the shoe!" Damn, this isn't even funny. I'm like out here feeling guilt. Maya's hand trembled. She couldn't do it. The roach was literally almost the size of her palm and had the thickest wings. Wings were so long and thick, that motherfucking roach was offering first-class tickets to fly other critters to Dubai and shit. The roach's long antennas moved from side to side, almost as if it could detect looming death. "You better run, Forrest! Run, Forrest, run!" Fredkeisha once again quickly spat in her hand and put the blunt out. She looked across the room and saw a Vibe magazine on top of the girl's dresser. Maya obviously didn't read Vibe. Fredkeisha forgot and left it there for one night when she cussed the girl out for not cleaning the bathroom right. Fredkeisha quickly rolled the magazine up into a makeshift pipe and lunged towards the girl. She then raised the Vibe magazine pipe in her hand and pulled it back in the air, ready to go across Maya's skull. "Kill it, goddammit!" Maya's hand crushed the bug in her hands. The roach's exterior crunched in her small palm. Gut gooey white yellowish roach gut slime splashed all over. Maya would have vomited, but she had nothing in her stomach to throw up. No food was in the house other than an old loaf of bread, an expired package of off-brand Walmart deli ham, and some watery yellow mustard. Fred Keisha leaned in and grabbed Maya off the bed. Now go wipe your goddamn hands. Get some paper towel and clean that mess up. I'm giving your ass a minute. Fred Keisha then swiped the magazine against the girl's back and bottom. Wasting my damn time. Fred Keisha continued to grumble as she made her way out of the bedroom. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Fred Keisha's iPhone nestled in her back pocket vibrated. She threw the magazine back onto the dresser, picked the blunt up and put it in her mouth, and then whipped out her phone. She saw a text come in from Mama. Downstairs, Fred Keisha's mother Evelyn texted. The ratchet matriarch agreed to babysit her grandchildren this weekend. Mrs. Watkins, Austin's mother, was minutes away from picking up Maya to babysit her as well, but hadn't texted Fred Keisha yet. Quimani and Zamir, hurry up! Yo, Granny here, get your shit and leave! Fred Keisha barked in front of the boys' bedroom door. Suddenly, the door opened and the two boys, decked out in some fly gear from the Nike store, hugged their mother and then flashed down the hallway and out the front door. Fred Keisha smiled, feeling overcome with joy as she watched her two boys exit the house. This is a boy mom right here. She wasn't just joyful she was gonna have some time to herself. She felt a sense of rapture and pride that her young boys were growing fast, becoming the young men she'd always envisioned, real street fellas. Fred Keisha spun on her flip-flops and strode her way through her bedroom. The sound of her flops popping filled the hallway. Okay, so the second chapter is actually about Maya, and I'm starting to think like maybe this is gonna end with like Fred Keisha getting arrested by CPS or something, because this is actually great. Like, I can actually see the satire now. That was the end of chapter 1, by the way. I can see the satire now. Genuinely. It is actually loaded with it. Like, this one in particular, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have picked this one, because there's not as much going on compared to like the old thought next door. But I read it all anyways. So if anyone wants to see me either continue this book or read another Quan Millz book, because I really do want to read the other Quan Millz books. I actually want to see like what else do they have. We've got Old Thought Next Door. This fella got a small dick. My baby mama is a loser. I'm actually like, you know what? These are actually like books. These actually got like a whole storyline, everything. I think Old Thought Next Door is honestly amazing. Like, I actually want to read it. I'm not gonna lie. I want to read the rest of this book. I am a little bit invested. Like, I want Maya to get out of that house. Straight up. Yeah, so actually, I'm reading the description of the book, and it is about, like, saving Maya. It's not about the war between the humans and the roaches, which I'm a little disappointed at. But as a satire, I respect it. I apologize for how white I am when I was reading this.
I'm just trying to make people laugh.
Anyways, that's pretty much it. Like and comment if you want to see more. And that's about it. Peace.
Bye-bye.